how do I trust my inner voice, my gut? Like, what am I, like, asking yourself the big picture questions. Hey, welcome to your 2023 February reading for your sun, moon, or rising sign. If this resonates with you, give the video a like, share it, turn on the notification bells, subscribe. I have a lot more new content that's coming out besides the monthlies. I'm doing new and full moon readings. I do live streaming. If you're watching this on YouTube, check out the community page because I have a schedule up there of what's going on when. And if you're watching this on Rumble, then just follow all the links for everywhere to find me on social media. So otherwise, let's just get into it. Let's find out what's going on for you this month. Let's not waste any time. Hello, Pisces, and welcome to your February 2023 reading. I was actually going to say March. So here we go. Let's take a look at what is coming up for you. And we're going to look at the progression of the month. I am definitely feeling cards in a different way today. So that's what we're looking at. So I'm actually feeling two more cards here. All right, so let's take a look at what is happening over the course of the month. Okay. So let's see what's going on here. We've got, and this is for Pisces, sun, moon, or rising sign. So if this resonates with you this month, awesome, fantastic. Obviously, we cannot capture what's going to be so for every single Pisces, sun, moon, or rising out there. There's just too many variations. So if you want a specific reading, you want specific clarity, awesome, book a personal reading with me. Information for that is down below. And also, if you are feeling like you want to check out your other signs, then check out your other signs. Interesting progression that we have here. So got some new energy coming in. Definitely feeling like there is like a holding of your ground and needing to do some inner work. Let's take a look at what the challenge is. We have the 10 of Pentacles as a challenge. Okay. And then we have the Sun as your advice. Really interesting. Okay. So let's dive a little bit deeper into this. So let's start with the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is this spark of creativity. Definitely if you are looking at, if you're a single person or kind of sort of seeing one or two people or so, you know, then this is kind of like that really flirtatious, sexy, hot, like really flammable, beautiful kind of energy. It's really fun and delicious and passionate. Now, if this is not about, you know, a relationship, situationship, or being single or anything like that, then I would say if this is about like career or any other things, it's like, look, here you're being handed the staff of like creativity, of passion, of spark, of inspiration, of fire, of movement, of action, of bravery, of courage, of all of this. And it's like, it's such a spark. It's like, it reminds me of being at the very beginning of like tropical sign astrology would be, the beginning of spring would be Aries, right? It's this like burst of energy, this jumping forth of energy. And it reminds me of that, right? Like, so you're being handed this like really potent staff full of energy. And then that's at the beginning of the month. So perhaps because all of like, we're moving into the beginning of February, we already have all planets moving direct. And so you might be feeling like that momentum is like really starting to build and you're starting to really like move forward with things and it feels really amazing, right? And we move into the middle of the month and it's like, okay, so you've gained a certain kind of ground, right? Like you've gained some kind of higher ground. You've gotten to a certain level of achievement. You've reached some kind of next level, some next iteration of yourself or of your work or your business or, you know, or in a relationship, right? And it's like now you're feeling kind of challenged and you might be feeling challenged by outside sources, by the world, right? Like, so this could be feeling like challenged by friends and family members or like people that you know, or this could be in the workplace feeling challenged by like coworkers or, you know, feeling challenged by like getting some pushback from mentors or like people in a position of authority or power. But like there's essentially what I'm trying to point to is that this is pointing to like this sense of feeling like there's pushback once you finally have achieved like a next level, right? And that's something that's not so untypical, right? Like we can know and notice that we do tend to experience, like when we move to a next level in some way, that there are there can be some pushback, and it kind of tests our resolve, our passion, our desire, right? Like passion, desire, resolve, right? These are very fiery things that are associated with the wands suit. And so I feel like you're going to be challenged in this way, and you need to just stand your ground. You need to stand in your sovereignty, stand in your agency, and not in an egotistical, shadowy way, but in like an identity egoic, like I am stepping into my identity as this next level kind of way, not in a narcissistic way, but in a way that is like healthy identity, healthy ego. And then we come into the end of the month, and I think that because of the challenges, like it's like you had this spark and this drive to move forward, and like then we move into this energy where it's like, oh man, like I'm really feeling like I have to like hold my position. And then we move into the end of the month, and I think because of the trials and tribulations that you've experienced, you're feeling this hermit card where you're just like, okay, I think I need to reevaluate some shit. I think I need to not like any of the retrogrades that we just came out of, but more so like, how do I trust my inner voice, my gut? Like, what am I, like asking yourself the big picture questions. What am I creating for the world? What do I want to create? Like, how do I want my life to feel? What do I want my impact to be on the world collectively, or in my immediate communities or my immediate environment? Like, how do I want to appear? How do I want to feel in my environments? In all of these different environments, like what feels important, what feels fulfilling to me, what feels exciting to me, what, like if you look at the rest of your life, do you just want to do the day in day out bullshit that you've been possibly doing? Fuck no. No, you don't want to do that. You want something that's going to feel amazing. And I don't mean like you specifically, personally, just as a Pisces. I think that human beings in general would prefer to have a life that feels fulfilling. You know, if you ask someone on their deathbed, would you rather have had a life that felt fulfilling or that felt not fulfilling? They're going to choose fulfilling, you know? So, my opinion. But this is really about like going inward, asking your questions about this so that you can formulate the next steps of your journey, whether it's in a relationship or a business partnership or with your career path or your studies or whatever the hell it is. Like, you need to be very clear about this. Like, this isn't about seeking the answers outside of yourself. There is a time and place to ask for assistance and guidance from other people, but this is not that space. This is not that time. The time right now is to ask yourself at the end of the month in February, it's like, okay, I need to do some inquiry. I need to do some internal inventory, and that's what's coming up. Then we come into like, what is your challenge at this time of the month, or for the month overall, and we have the 10 of Pentacles. And I think that, you know, the world of like the linear, the angular, the tangible, if you are someone who has a really strong Jupiterian, Neptunian, 12th house, Piscean placements in your chart, then you're probably going to really relate to this, where it feels difficult to create things that are structured and rooted and grounded and solid and formed and formulated, right? Like, that feels more Saturnian, that feels like more like Virgoan, or like it's other like earthly kind of, like that earthly energy, that really grounded, rooted, solid structure, the tangible kind of energy is not necessarily what comes super easily to someone who with those placements. Now, if you don't resonate with that, then obviously you must have other placements in your natal chart that offset it. So again, this is a reading that is not, you know, personal. It's a collective reading. But this is about like, okay, like this card is about building things that are like a legacy that stand the test of time, that can be passed down, that can be that can sustain you, like even if it's not passed down, but sustain you through the years. And so this is about, like, if it's about relationship or it's about career, it's about finances, whatever it is, this is about what can sustain you and feeling some difficulty in being able to establish that, right? And I think that's probably why you're going to have to ask yourself these big picture questions. And then we come into what is your spiritual advice that is coming through, and we have the Sun card. Now look, if I were going to talk about any kind of like blessed ass card, this would be the most blessed damn card that I could recommend ever getting, if you could ever pull it just by choice. And I love this card because there's a sense of abundance. And so I think that your spiritual advice is really just talking about, like, hey, you know, as cheesy as it can sound, as overplayed and like way just played out that, you know, the whole gratitude appreciation game can be, there is a wisdom to it for a reason. There's a reason that it picked up. You know, people may have watered it down, but it doesn't diminish that when you apply yourself earnestly to these concepts, there is a power in it, and there is some real, you know, value in this. And so I think that this is a time to remember, you know, the freedom that you, like, when you think back to points in your life where you have experienced like freedom, maybe freedom from responsibility, yes, or like freedom in the world where you felt like free to act, free to express, free to be, free to be yourself in this world, you know, transparently, authentically, nakedly, you know, just you, and how beautiful that experience was, right? Like this card is a card of being able to remember what that feels like. And I think that this lights the way. Like, this is part of what lights the way, and this is part of the spark, right? This is part of remembering. This is what helps you through these kinds of periods, is remembering this kind of energy. So, you know, definitely if you have those kind of like Piscean placements, like I was saying, like, remember, you should take the time to really allow yourself to escape in, you know, ways that aren't addictive, right? But to escape from the world in the linear world. So like, maybe that looks like turning on ambient music and laying on your bed and staring at the ceiling and letting your mind and energy wander, like whatever it is, but like, it's necessary for you. And it might feel really difficult to be in this linear world, right? Like this linear world. But I think that if you can take the time to go within yourself, ask these questions, if you can remember this kind of energy, I think it's going to be really helpful. And just like with the light, the way that it's changing currently as I'm filming, I'm really loving how all of these cards seem to have this glow about them. Like, I'm loving the glow. I feel like it accentuates the point. So yeah, that's what I've got for you, Pisces. So if you resonate with this, if you love this, please give the video a like, subscribe, turn on the notifications. If you want to know about the events where I'm doing free readings and like hanging out with people, that's all in the community tab on YouTube, and on Instagram, it's pinned to the top of my profile. All that information is down below. And if you want a specific reading that's like really getting into the nitty-gritty for you, I am someone who looks at clarity, and I really want it to be like actionable, something that is useful, something that's practical, something that can be utilized when I do my readings. So if you want a 30, 60, or 90-minute reading, all that is down below. So I will talk to you guys soon. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for being here, and have a great month. All right, bye, Pisces.